News Talk 640 WFNC. I tell you what, man, we got everybody in their brother and sister in the studio right now. We want to welcome William Wesley. Yes. You are a candidate for Cumberland County Commissioner. You're running at large. Welcome to Studio One. Welcome to Good Morning Fayetteville. And thank you for coming in to talk about it, because we're reaching out to all the candidates, say, hey, come on, give me your spiel. What's your spiel?
No, thank you. My name is William Tunk Wesley. I'm running for County Commissioner at large. I'm a public educator. I worked in the school system for 25 years. I'm still working in there, so I understand the plight that men of the Flemings are going through right now at this time. I understand the disparity between funding and other programs dealing with health care. So I felt that you needed someone in the seat that actually understands the things that the county and the students in the schools and the educators are going through. So that was part of my motivation.
All right. Now, did you ever play drums?
No, sir.
Well, you sure are banging on that doggone counter, and you sounded good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
the
sir.
microphone's picking up everything.
Oh,
so.
well, I'm going to stop that.
Okay. You said you're going to run. Any political experience at all in the past?
Yes. In the past, I have served as campaign manager for Mitch Colvin. I served as the strategist as well for other candidates out there. So with that experience, I have a full inside understanding how things work and also understand how things don't work. So
give us the difference between the two when you talk about that.
About things that don't work.
What works and what doesn't work when you're running for a campaign?
Okay, when you're running for a campaign, you want to make sure that you are communicating what the people need and want. What doesn't work when you are too combative to listening to what the people need and want and not willing to collaborate with other entities that are involved.
Now, to talk about that a little bit, because, you know, you hear a lot of commercials with a lot of negative advertisement and everything. Does that work, or what's your thought about that?
I don't think it works. I think you need to focus on your issue, your plans, but you must have a plan when you're running for a political office, and I do have a plan to address some of the needs that we're facing here in Cumberland County.
All right, give us some of your plans. Let's talk about one of the major things for us right now is the water situation. You know, we've got a situation where we've got the folks up in Fuquay want to take 8 million gallons of water out the Cape Fear River and not put it back in and put it in the Neuse River Basin. And then we've got contaminated water for folks down in the Grays Creek area. Your insight on that?
Yes, sir. I think about riding on an airplane. They say put your oxygen mask on first. So I feel that we need to make sure that we're serving our community first with the water, making sure we're having all the things that we need to make sure our farms are being fed, our people are having drinking water. So I think that's primary. With Grays Creek, I think that, one, we need to exhaust all possibilities, and part of that exhausting all possibilities, I understand Kenmore is egregious in their actions. However, I think we should have reached out to them and see about if they would be willing to provide water filtration for the community that are affected. Sometimes lawsuits are great, but you can't drink lawsuits. People need water now. So I think we need to collaborate with other entities that are in that field with water filtration. And also, we have one of the best engineering water facilities in the world right here at Fort Bragg. I think we should have reached out to them and see if they could help us understand how to do a better job filtering the water.
Well, and part of the problem is even Fort Bragg is going to be impacted by this because they're talking about taking 8 million gallons out, and that becomes a national security issue if Fort Bragg can't have the water it needs. Talk about that a little bit and what your insight is there.
With that, again, my airplane theory, I think, holds true. We also have to understand we have to make sure our military has all the necessities that they need to defend our nation. We are one of the largest, if not the largest, institution in America. And on that subject, I think Cumberland County needs to do a better job honoring those individuals in various ways. One way, I think we need to make sure that we're being more accessible to the programs that they need to get to, not have so much red tape right here in the county. The same thing going with our senior citizen. I have a disability right now, so I'm used to trying to find parking, driving around. I think the county should make a mandate and increase the number of parking at these various businesses so people can have more parking. You go to these places and you have a lot of pick up now, but very few parking for people with disabilities and our veterans. So I think we could do a mandate to increase that as well.
How long have you been involved in helping other folks in terms of their campaigns and things like that?
Probably roughly 15, 18 years now. Me and Mitch started out when he first ran for city council, and we've been together ever since. I've helped other individuals with their campaigns and strategize for them as well.
So now you're a candidate.
Yes.
Which one is more revealing, or which one is more fun?
More fun and more revealing. More fun is being behind the scenes. I enjoy that greatly, but I think more needed is being in front of the being a candidate. And I tell you why. I shared the plans and things I had with other candidates, and many of them said, "Tonk, you need to do it yourself. Nobody can do you better than you." So that's one reason I went out there. I'm out here now running for county commissioner at large.
You know, the county commissioners are responsible for funding for the school system. Seemed like the current board did a pretty good job this time around providing funds. You're making a face like, no, they didn't.
No, I'm not making a face. I'm smiling. I do believe that they could have had the resources already in place, and there's ways to do that. It's sort of like when the dad come home and say, "I'm babysitting now." No, you're helping with your kids that you help bring here. So I think there was ways we could have worked around that, and there are means where we can increase funding for education and for other various programs. A lot of it has to do is how we are allocating the funding. And right now, unfortunately, we are 9th and 10th in peer counties in terms of pure capital funding. And that's not going to close the gap. And this has no fault to do with the educators, no fault of the students, no fault of the parents. It has to do with proper allocation of funding and spending more money per capita on the students so you can do better. I realize as a teacher, before we even start, at the beginning of school, we have to spend about $200 just to set up our classrooms. And that's before you get your first paycheck. Can you imagine being a first-year teacher? So what I've designed is a program that will increase the stipend for teachers without charging the citizens extra money through their taxes. There are various ways that we can increase the stipend so we can be competitive to prevent teachers leaving going to other counties.
Now, talk about that a little bit, because, you know, you don't want to increase taxes. People are against that.
No.
So how do you do that? How do you raise enough money to provide funding for educational purposes for teachers specifically,
Yes.
Without having to raise taxes?
Well, we have a lot of products in this county that we can increase taxes on, and I think we need to really look at it. They did something similar with the food tax to increase money to build the arts center and things of that nature. So we might want to look at increasing some of the taxes on the vape shops, those items.
Well, but the business owners and people will say a tax is a tax. You can call it what you want, but if you're taxing people either on their residence, or you're taxing them at the grocery store, or if you're taxing them at the vape shop, a tax is a tax is a tax. So what you're proposing is not a way to fund, provide more money for teachers without taxing. You're just shifting where that tax comes from.
In a sense, but you have taxes that are necessity tax. You have your housing, where the greatest amount of our funding comes from. Then you have your food tax, and I want there to touch food or housing. But your fun items, things that you don't have to have, I think we need to look at that more. And I'm a huge proponent on that. And you also have to look at partnership, because there are various other entities that would love to come in here and help us out, but we have to be willing to exhaust all possibilities and open those doors of collaboration.
All right. If you're just joining me right now, William Wesley, Tonk, is that
Yeah,
your middle
Tonk.
name? Everybody knows you by that?
Yes, sir. That is a family secret, but
Well, break the secret out here. Come on now. What is that about?
well, I'm the youngest of 3 sisters, and I think they wanted a puppy. So to get their wishes, they named me
Kenny.
another name outside of Tunk. We shorten it to Tunk, but I can't imagine being called the other nickname that derives from Tunk. And then all the guys I played ball with at E. Smith and other places, they call me Tunk. So a lot of people know me by that name. And plus, Tunk is something easy to remember.
All right. Well, I guess the big question, though, is Tunk going to be on the ballot where they see it?
Yes, it is.
Now, how do you get that done? Is that right?
Yes. William Tunk Wesley, Toonk Wesley. And you can find more about me under that same name, www.tonkwesley.net. I am very intentional with my name. I know who I am.
Well, let me apologize because right now those who are watching on my Facebook page or on my YouTube page during the podcast, all they see underneath you is William Wesley because you saw I was scrambling when you came in and get it in here.
Yes, sir.
And I had you spell, I don't know what I had your last name as.
And my question, I immediately thought,
right.
Okay, is that on the campaign sign?
It is on,
there you go.
It's on the campaign signs, flyers, shirts, buttons, every piece of material that represent who I am. I'm going to be who I am, right. Tunk Wesley.
I want you to be who you are. Right now for the last 30 or 45 seconds because that's all you got. We're going to give you the boot. So I always make sure everybody know they're getting ready to get kicked out. But if there's something you want to tell folks right now, how they can reach you, how they can help you, this is your 45 seconds. Go.
Please help me help my fellow educators.
Okay.
In this moment we're living in, local education is the last line of defense. And we all have to come together and work with a purpose and intentional. And education is the blueprint and the basis for us to move forward. And you can reach me at www.tonkwesley.net. And I am intentional about people, and I want to put people over projects. We have to be mindful of how we are allocating funding, and we have to be respectful with that allocation.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I apologize for not having Tunk under your name here, but that's your name, and you're going to stick by it on your campaign. It's a big deal. People know you by that name.
Yes.
And that's what's important. But I appreciate you coming out and stopping by. Good luck.
Thank you.
Luck to you, because the primary is coming up on March 3rd. And that's
yes.
You're either going to be here again because if you win, then we're going to have you back.
I hope to be in this seat.
All right.
Mama, I made it. Thank you so much.
All right, and continue with your drumming because that's a great. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, don't go anywhere yet. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's local newscast right now with CBS 17.
Good morning from the CBS 17 newsroom. I'm Bill Young. Fayetteville City Council continues to weigh options about Fire Station Number 4 on Bragg Boulevard. It was constructed several years ago at a cost of $9 million, but never occupied. An engineering report found structural problems with the walls, roof, and foundation. It was suggested the building be torn down and then rebuilt. Councilmember Brenda McNair said she understands concerns about the millions of dollars already spent. Mayor Mitch Colvin said firefighter safety outweighs the cost. The city is currently suing the Wilmington-based builder. U.S. Senate Republican candidate Michelle Morrow pushing back against criticism from people in her own party. Morrow sent a 10-page letter to Republican grassroots groups to set the record straight about her personal life and her Senate run. She refuted claims about her family, allegations she is financially backed by former RNC Chair Michael Whatley's campaign, and that she entered the race to split the grassroots vote. Morrow said she will support whoever the nominee is in the November general election. More than 23,000 public high school seniors in North Carolina accepted direct admission offers through what is called the NC College Connect program. That program allows students with a weighted GPA of 2.8 or higher to bypass the traditional application process. Between August of 25 and January of this year, students accepted more than 88,000 offers from participating colleges and universities. That means about